Alright, so this is Mark again with Spyder Drones and Guns. And I am back out here, this time with the Spyder. Let's go ahead and take a quick walk around. Why am I out here with the Spyder again? I have just added a couple of new accessories to the Spyder, and I wanted to show it off. I still love my Spyder, still love this red. But one of the things I've never liked about the Spyder is the placement of these mirrors. They have the horrible position on the Spyder. The handlebars kind of block your vision. Because they sit so low. They should have been, a couple of inches higher, probably 3 or 4 inches higher. But, I've always hated it, So what did I do? I picked up from the Monster Garage the big eye mirrors so that I would have mirrors there in a taller position so it would be easier for me to see. With those mirrors, of course, I had to get the top cuff, and this top cuff comes with a adjustable phone holder, adjustable bottle holder. Loosen it up here and you can adjust it. Pretty nice size. It'll hold probably a 32, maybe a 40 inch, depending on how it's made, bottle, as well as a small water bottle. And I tightened it down, but I can still get the bottle in and out. So this top cuff has a couple of other spaces on it. Bring it in here. If I can get a good angle here, this one might be easier. Yeah. So there's a couple of spaces on the top cuff to where I can add maybe another RAM ball, to add another device. If I want to maybe say add a GoPro or a 360 camera. I probably won't, but I have the option to do that. The other thing, as you can see, because I brought it into view here, is I bought a QuadLock. So I'll be placing my phone in the QuadLock to take it away from the center so that I'm not obstructing any view of the dashboard. I still right now have the other phone holder, because I have to have a phone holder that'll hold a small tablet because of my phone, which is the Samsung Z Fold 7. However, I did have to buy a new plate here for the RAM ball that holds this phone holder on. The actual RAM ball itself, I came out and I think I moved this around a little bit, and then all of a sudden the RAM ball just disintegrated, or the outer covering just disintegrated. So I ended up having to buy another plate so that I could remount that phone holder. So here we are again with the big eye mirrors, with the top cuff and the bottle holder. I think it looks pretty good. And just to kind of go into it, it's, like I said, I've always hated these mirrors. The one thing that I did always like about, and they stopped it, of course, with the 2018 models with the F3, was the turn signals. I will never understand why BRP decided to remove that. Every video, and I know I've said this before, every video before I bought my Spyder and I was just watching motorcycle videos, every rider talks about being visible. So I always thought that having the turn signals, on the mirrors was at least a decent idea. It gave some height to it. And now if you have a 2019 and above, there is no turn signal. This is just a blank colored piece, right? So, and the turn signals, I believe, are in this marker light here, which I don't know, that's kind of low on the vehicle. So never did like the idea of BRP actually removing the mirrors of the turn signals. And some of the first things I did was add turn signals, and you can watch one of my first videos on the Spyder, and I show all of the lights that I added, because I have turn signals, you know, everywhere. There are turn signals in my A-arm LEDs. There are turn signals in the halo around my fog lights. There are turn signals that activate on this strip that's on the mirror. Even what used to be just plain reflectors do light up. Now, I don't have the newer ones that have the sequential lights, but they do have turn signals. And I can go ahead, I don't know how well, because it's so bright here. I'm in Texas, so it's pretty bright. But if I were to put on the hazard lights, and where is the hazards? It's over here. Activate. Yeah. Now, as you can see, now I don't see these LED strips. Maybe because of the brightness, I don't see them lit up. But if it'll come through on camera, you can see the lights here. The lights, well, maybe not on the, may not come through very well on the red reflectors. On the A-arms, again, on the halos, on the other side of the reflectors again. The only thing that I can't tell is on the strips, and I know they work because I was just on the Spyder. The strips that are on the mirror body, yeah, you can't really tell if they are blinking or not, unless they are set up only to blink. I didn't think they were, though. Let's see that, though. I'm gonna turn off the hazards. Okay, the hazards are off. Let's see. Huh. This is really a little strange. Maybe, okay. Maybe those lights are controlled if the engine is running. You know what? If I remember correctly, those may be wired to that. So I'm gonna pause the video for a moment here, because it kind of worried me to talk about it and then not to be able to see it. So I'm gonna pause the video for a moment. All right, so I'm back in with you again. Yes, I was not thinking the turn signals are for the mirrors. They are on engine power, or when the engine is running, so they're on like accessory. I should say accessory power. So the engine has to be running for those to actuate. But yeah. So now you can see that those mirrors are blinking like they're supposed to. So cool. I wish I think there are something you can do for the back as well. You see I have a running light, red running lights, and when I hit the brakes, I can't of course hit the brakes and show you here, but when you hit the brakes, those lower LEDs, get it back in here, the lower LEDs will flash. So here we are, my 2018 Can-Am Spyder. I'm not sure what else I'm going to add to this. I'm still kind of waiting to see if BRP will give us something more innovative. And I had did a video, I don't know if I ever posted it though. I would, one of my wishes now would be to get rid of the shifter. The Rikers are fully automatic. It would be nice to get rid of the shifter. It'd be fully automatic on the Spyders as well. I would also like to see a different engine. And if you watch, and I cannot remember the guy's name, there's this guy who actually put in a gold wing engine. He had to do, of course, a lot of modification. He put a gold wing engine into his Spyder. I think it was a Spyder RT and one of the newer RTs, and he was able to get it in, get it to actually, work. It shifts. It does everything it's supposed to do. I think the only things it doesn't do is because the gold wing doesn't have a reverse gear, and I don't think he could map the actual Spyder reverse gear, or at least not yet anyway, so that he would have a true reverse on that one. But that proves that with the right modifications, that BRP could give us, a six-cylinder engine. I would be kind of happy with a 4, boosting the horsepower to maybe 125, 135, somewhere in that range, because I think that the 1330 triple is rated at 115 horsepower. And I know that the Spyder, especially the RT and the F3T and Limited, are built for touring and not speed, but it would just be nice to have that. So who knows if they ever make something, major change, the transmission, a different engine, then I would consider maybe trading mine in. I would hate, one of the things, of course, like I just talked about, one thing I would hate to give up would be the turn signals on the back of the mirrors. Yes, there is an aftermarket fix for that, where you can go, I think I've seen it on Sling Mods, where you would fix an LED, you wired it in, and it will actuate when you activate the turn signal. Issues with that, like anything else, is even though I know it's 3M tape, there is always that possibility that you get a bad adhesive on that one, and now it's falling off. So I think BRP should bring this style back to the RT and F3 and put the turn signals back on. Actually, I think there's a lot of things. How many of us would probably pay? We're already paying, if you've bought a one of the newer F3s or RTs, how much would you pay to have some of the aftermarket lighting and maybe accessories come from factory? Something like old fog lights from factory, turn signals on the wheels, on the wheel wells, or fenders, excuse me, the wheel fenders. They don't even give us, I mean, I thought that was crazy. The first time I saw it, I thought that it was a mistake of some type. They don't even give us a reflector anymore. They give us a strip of reflective tape for the red reflector now. I mean, how cheap is that? I love the Spyder, and I think I would have paid a little bit more to have some of the accessories, like fender lights, maybe lights across the mirrors. Again, bring back the turn signals on the back of the mirrors. The choice of a windshield from factory, meaning that you can order it from factory with something with a whole different style, something more like this. Maybe big eye mirrors from factory. A larger engine. There are numerous things. A better audio system, a better BRP Connect, or whatever they call it now. All of that. It would just be nice to have these upgrades, and that you pay for from that you get it from factory. You pay for it, and you don't have to worry about it. There may be other things you might go ahead and do, but I think that some things should inherently come from the factory and not depend on the aftermarket. Anyway, that's enough of that rant. This is Mark from Spyder Drones and Guns, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks.